Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X. I am almost done with converting all the Unity code. I think we will be done today. I am pretty sure. I have a few things, like we're going to go through all this stuff and we're going to make sure everything's working, blah, blah, blah. But I'm pretty sure this is the last, and I can change my title. I have a cheat sheet here that I use. My title is currently Unity to Godot C Sharp, and I'll be able to change that just to Godot C Sharp. And we will be done with Unity, done with the conversion. It took quite a while, but we're done. We're almost done. But last time, and I can show you what I'm talking about sort of here. Last time, we made it so that the people decide if they want to build a building or not. They don't really get a choice, they just do it. And what was happening was, let's see here. The time hasn't passed yet, but we can test it with this thing. If we changed one of these, I'm going to say no to this one, because this one isn't fixed yet. I did a little tiny bit of programming last night. So if we change one of these, all of them converted over. And I was like, what the fuck? And first I thought it was the people going through were accidentally hitting every county. Like if one person or if one faction said they wanted to build this, I thought it was hitting every county. But I was actually, last night I was doing something else. I was playing a video game and I went outside for smoking, and it just popped in my head. It was like the thing, the words, the resources are all the same. So one of the weird things with Godot is a resource. So it's different than in Unity's scriptable objects. Is that if you drag and drop these in something, they are, I don't remember where I put this stuff. It's faction generation, actually. If you drag and drop this over here, these are not a copy. They're the exact same thing. And so that in this code, where I'm adding from this array, I'm adding it in, it's adding the exact same thing into all of them. It's not, so if you change one, it changes all of them because they're the same resource. So what I needed to do, and I did this little test last night, is make a duplicate of the resource. And so I did this little test. This is how I do like test stuff, is I just, make a test thing and then I start fucking with it. So this should, if I'm doing this, and I think I did it, I tested this. So, we know that this county improvement, this second one, is going to all of them. If we do the county improvement and we do this one, it should only be on the one. So that's the way to fix this. So let's fix this real quick. We don't actually need this test thing. I think I can just drop this directly in here. And pretty much I can just copy this and put it right here and right here. And then we just got to cast this as a county improvement. And we got to spell it right. And then I guess I could have just copied this shit, right? Less typing. All right, so that's all this, but this goes over too far. So let's make this, let's put this little comma down here. I like everything to be seen on the screen. And I like this at 189%. I don't know why 189%. Then we'll get rid of this test thing because it's not used anymore. And this is kind of like well, maybe we'll, I don't know. We'll make this better at some point. So now they should, whoops. Oh, I forgot to do my little thing here. So it's glad that I accidentally clicked on that. That is the curse of that thing. I got to figure out a better way to do that. That's where I can see the chat from both YouTube and Twitch. But it doesn't go both ways. So if you chat on YouTube, it doesn't appear on Twitch, which is what I was hoping it would do. But it does appear on the screen on this little thing right over here. Anyways, so let's hit play. Let's hit stop. Let's hit play. We didn't really need to hit stop. And let's do this one. And then let's check this one. And it didn't go over, so we're good. But the thing is, you might have noticed there's another bug here. If you hit yes, this should say under construction, and it doesn't. Um, it needs to refresh this panel when this comes over. So we're going to fix that too. So let's go. That is this actually. Let's wait for a second for this shit to catch up. So it's doing all this stuff, but we need it to actually refresh that panel. And what is that panel called? That's under here. Do we have a refresh thing? Um, what are we doing here? I feel like this should be it, but it's not. Where is this getting parented? Current, possible. I mean, that's it. But how does it know that it's? Oh, it's when this thing is this weird if then. All right. So what we need to do is when we say yes to this. What the fuck was that thing? As I sat in silence there. This needs to be public. And because it's already visible is the thing. Or we could just turn on. I'm just going to have it refresh the whole thing. But we could have it turn on the under construction button itself. This is not a global. This is going to be county improvements, control instance, generate. And then we'll see if this does the trick. Do we have like another? We have another reparent thing here. We probably don't need this then, because this is being done over there. This is. What is this doing? Update possible. This we could probably change the order. We'll put this at the bottom. These are going to be like two. These are like doing things elsewhere, so we might as well. Yeah, I think when then we'll see. This could implode the whole thing, as we've learned in the past. Oh look, there's people who are scavenging and stuff. I also didn't dawn on me we do need idle. Regardless, there needs to be an idle and all right, so that worked. Let's double check this. That is not showing as we want. And we'll do this one. We're not getting any bugs. That was pretty easy. That was it. That was pretty easy. All right, let's get rid of this shit then. And maybe change this as even have this code somewhere else. We probably want to move this when we do AI stuff. No, we don't want to move this. We did some of this actually. We can get rid of this whole comment. Like these things we created in the AI thing. So it's doing the banker does this, and I'm still not sure if like each faction should have their own banker. I don't know like what the best practices for that shit is. So I'm sure someone can tell me. YouTube comments if you would like. I'm open to YouTube comments if they're nice. Now, you could even put mean ones. I don't give a shit. If you know the craziest part about YouTube comments is they do it's YouTube's by engagement. So if you downvote a video or you put a nasty comment, it makes it go up and it offers it to more people. So occasionally, like I had a video that I swear it must have upset somebody, and he went through. You know, I don't know if this is what happened, but like within, you know, someone posted a nasty comment, and then I got a downvote. But then I also got a bunch of downvotes on my other videos. So I imagine the same person, like you know, at the same time went through and downvoted him. But they didn't know that was helping me because it expands. You know, it shows it to more people. So yeah, downvote my videos. No, don't downvote my videos. Anyways, so now we just need to go through. No, this is done. That's what we just fixed. We're gonna go through and rearrange this thing. And this is the one we just fixed. And we did, these two have been done. AI faction, I think wait, this is called factions AI, not AI factions anymore. Just let me edit it. The fuck? Look at this. I got this little hand. No, the hand was supposed to be there. It was supposed to be there. Factions AI. You know what? I didn't check. I'm usually. Oh, I spelled that wrong. I mean, not wrong, but I need it to be plural. I always check this normally is make sure I'm actually streaming because that happened one time. One time in my life I didn't check and I wasn't actually streaming. It was, and I streamed for like 30 minutes. I didn't stream for 30 minutes. Okay. Why is this a draft? Let's convert this to an issue, and then we'll close it down because that's what they're doing. We already did this. I feel like this is not working right, but it does work right. The buildings don't actually generate anything right now. But they'll build the buildings. Then we need them to have go through and the buildings need to generate resources. Have their leaders generate influence if they're... Oh, okay, so this, I don't think I had this in Unity. So I think we're pretty far done. We could merge this to main, actually. Well, let's double check everything. Wait, what is this one? Check for counting improvements with both minimum resources and storage and how much the faction produces. This is something for the next round. We do need to do this. So there's different things. There's different things that need to happen on this work thing. And we did have some code that was commented out here. It was under the banker, actually. Find food building. We already did that. Now, here's this count. I was thinking about this idle workers thing. The idle workers thing is a pain in my fucking ass. I feel like there's got to be a better way to do it. Check enough food, find food building, build improvement, check enough food, check for building cost. This might not, we might want to change the name of this from a banker too. All right, so we do need to, this is some old code, but we need to do this. This needs to be done. And then I think we're, like if I see other old things that I copied over from Unity, we can just delete it, hopefully. Here's one. Oh, here's an idle worker changed thing. See, this is such a pain in my ass. So this is the pain in my ass that we're talking about. Let's hit play that I'm talking about. We, the royal we. When you click on this, there's this idle worker. So the button doesn't do anything. And I actually don't know if, I was thinking about this. I don't know if I even want the button to do anything. But the thing, we would need this number to update. So let's say we're going to build this. And time is passing while we're doing this. We just gotta, whoops. We gotta go to here. We just gotta wait. All right, so some people should be assigned to it now. So there's people building the Fisher's Shack. They're no longer idle. That needs to update. And I guess, I guess it only happens in the morning. I guess it's not that bad. It only happens in the morning. But let's see, was time passing? Yeah, so time passes while this thing is up. So if the morning happens, look at all these things it thinks it can be marked static that can't. I hate that. Can I just suppress this, I guess? I just don't want. I I want my messages to show things that I actually need. It didn't do this in Unity. By the way, every message down here was important. And one of the things that was interesting is if I downloaded tutorial code from like, because I watch lots of tutorials from like, a person would do a Unity tutorial code or tutorial, and then they'd say, my code's below. And if I would download it and open it up and it would have a bunch of messages and shit, I knew that the tutorial wasn't that great because the messages should not be here, you know? Anyways, so we just need this to update, but we also needed to update this if uh, that's open shown. And so what it looks like what I was doing was I had an event fire probably with a getter setter, and then it would know. But we also could just do a getter setter for idle workers. And this is going to be under work. Day start, we're going to have is this still under here? This doesn't work. Yes, that does not work. Where did I have that? It was under the banker. Is the banker subscribing to anything? It currently doesn't subscribe to anything. So yeah, I was like counting them. I'm gonna put this in work though, because I think it makes more sense to be in work. Because if it's the work, the work is doing it. So let's put this here. Well, we'll put it at the top temporarily. Work complete. Generate leader influence. Oh, we already have this. We already have this set up. We'll double check that. But this is gonna be count idle workers. And we'll say count idle workers here. So at the day's start, we need a county to be put in here though. Oh, I must have. We're not going to do it that way. Where were we doing that other count? Maybe we want to put it in there. That was, man, my memory is terrible. Population AI. Decide next worker, adjust population activity. So then we got to decide if the next activity, so if their current activity for the day is work on something, are they considered idle for that day, but they have something for the next day? If they have something for the next day, are they idle for the next day? What does idle mean? So if they're building something that day, but they're idle the next day, I think it would be their next activity would be what we would want to check. And we'll put this count idle people over here, actually. It's kind of a interesting conundrum. Population AI. So this is going to assign for each county as goes through, and it makes them their next activity, their current activity. I mean, I kind of feel like you would. It's got to be their next activity, because if they don't do something until the next day, like, so you can be fucking around. Let's say you tell them to start building something, they don't actually do anything until the next day. That's the plan. Do we have it set that way? No, in the morning. In the morning of, let's go back to this. Do we have an account? What? Do we have a county improvement? We have one. And these guys are set. So at midnight, it's 0 basically. It's going to say that day's activity is the Fisher's Shack, and then the next day is the Fisher's Shack, and then the next day in the morning. So then it goes through that day. So if you let's stop this and go back to the beginning. So we need to pause this. Oh, whoops. We have some. I just copied it and pasted some garbage, but I didn't save that. This is population AI. It's still on my clipboard somewhere. I don't even know if we're going to need this, though. I'll just stick it here temporarily. Not twice, though. I mean, this code I feel like is dated, and we'll probably want to write new code. All right. So if we look at this, it says scavenging is for today. We click county improvement and we build this. And we go to here. No one's decided what they're doing the next day. And they don't decide until the next morning. But maybe what we're currently setting, so let's let this go. Maybe I'm doing this in a way I don't want to do it. We have to wait until okay, so then here now it sets both. It's setting both their current activity and their next activity, but maybe we want it to. So if you set it in a day, you set it today, it's going to set their next activity in the morning, which would be their next day's activity. So like it takes a couple of days for them to ramp up, which is kind of what I want it to do. Because like they already know that their next day they're not going to be doing anything. That's their plan. But you now that they've thought about it, and so maybe we want to do that. Or no, we can't do it the same day. The problem with the same day, so like this day, I don't think they're actually going to do it. What time is it? It's 3. We can wait till 5 and find out. 5 p.m. Okay, so they do the work that day. I don't think we want it to work that way, though, actually. I think we want it to be. I think we want it a whole other day to pass. Like if they're planning their next day is to do nothing, they're not going to change their next day and their next day. It should always be there, because that's what it's doing right now is it's changing their at midnight. it changes their current day thing and their next day after that. I think we don't want it to do that. Like I say, it's going to be a slow ramp up of building stuff because people aren't going to jump on it. You know, they got to hear the news that there's a job that needs to be done, etc., etc. We might have to change things later. So, we're in the right spot to check this. So, decide next activity. They should be going through, and if their next activity, you know, we are going to need an idle one, I decided too. So let's fix our, we have an enum. Let's fix this enum. And I'm pretty sure we're done with all of the Unity code, so I'm going to take that off. Let's fix this enum. Oh, you know what? We weren't doing it as an enum yet. We were doing it just as straight up text. That's not what I wanted. It's all text that we want to look at. These are just strings. Idle should be idle. And we'll have another one. Scavenging. I think that's wrong. Every time I do this, I think it's wrong, and I'm right that it's wrong half the time. Scavenging. Oh, no, I'm right. I'm right. I was wrong that I was right. Okay. Um, let's see here. So what we want it to, so we need to do, so that's done. And this is done. We don't need that. Hopefully select county is done. We're going to pin this temporarily. So it goes through every county, and the next activity so that's right. So it must be this work thing. And I remember when I was typing this, and I was like, are we really doing the current and next? Are we really setting those? Complete work per person. And that sets them both to idle if it's completed. My music that you guys can't hear has gotten very, very mellow. Too mellow for what I wanted, what we're doing here. Decide next activity. So they decide that their next activity, this adjust population activity. This is the problem, I think, is this. So that they decide their next activity, then this thing hits, and it because this happens next, it immediately sets this as their next activity. I think we actually just want this to come first. And when we really do this, they're not. It's not gonna. Not everyone's gonna just jump in and start working. it's going to be where people decide, like, do they want to work? And one of the reasons they would want to work is they get influence by doing. At the beginning, there's no money. They get influence uh, by working for the leader. They get paid basically an influence. Then they can spin their influence on other things. Okay, so everyone's idle at this point. Then we wait till midnight, and then we look at the population, and the population has imploded. What happened to our population? Next activity, current improvement name. Joker, how's it going? They're here. They're just hiding. Like I said, they're not all going to decide if they want to work. They ran off into the bushes. The problem is that some of these are null at this point. How is your Saturday going? Is this null though? I think this is one of those fucking things that I hate so much. All right, we'll do this. We'll do node. Then we'll do select. We'll do select county. Select. I don't think this actually is the issue, but I'm just fixing these as I see them. Node. Nope. Select county node. And then I guess I could have done this differently. Whoops, no capital. I was just thinking this morning, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but when I get to the point where so you're going to be able to assign people to this, and I can't decide. I don't think I want you to have a pull down list. Like, so the hero can have people with him. And I don't think I want it to be a pull down list because that sounds tedious. And like you would click and then there would be 20 fucking people listed here and you have to scroll through them all. Like, that sounds shitty. But I was thinking maybe drag and drop. Like, you'd have the people on this side and then a list over here, and they, like, whatever. This would be over here, and we would have a drag and drop, like kind of like an inventory. And I was like, oh, I guess I got to watch that Joker tutorial on that, because if I do it that way, that actually seems okay now that I'm thinking about it. The problem is, at the beginning, you're only going to have a few people, but when you have 200 people, you got to scroll through the 200 people and drag and drop every one. There's definitely going to have to be an auto thing. Anyways, what were we doing? We were having this error, and I'm pretty sure when the county generates the population, it assigns, because we were just looking at, no, we weren't. Yeah, it gives them the job idle, so that's not null. What is this thing's fucking problem? Generate population rows. Oh, I know what the problem is. Is there a check in here? What is this big thing? Oh, I also looked into the switches. Like, I think you were another, multiple people have said, why isn't that a switch at this point? And I understand them a little bit now. Jump switch, jump things. I think it's, well, how did it get through? Okay, so there's a current improvement. This is wrong. That should be next improvement. Well, I wrote it wrong. I wrote it wrong. You know what I probably did, and I do this all the time, is I copied and pasted this line, and then I only updated part of it to the thing. That's what I'm guessing, because I do it all the time. Let's see. This is probably going to still be upset, though. We got to do a county improvement. Time should have stopped while I was doing that. We can see them all idle. It's after midnight. Well, now it doesn't break. Was it really just that one thing? I don't see any null checks or anything in here. I'll just, you know what it is that there was no, the current one didn't have an improvement name. No, it would have had, there was no current one if their current job equals building. So it skipped through this. Okay. All right. So this is, so now let's see if this is working the way I envisioned it. So we said, let's start over so I can walk my brain through this. Pause it immediately. I should turn on that thing. All right, so day 0, we say build a forest shack. It's under construction. Our population is idle, and it says the next day they're idle already. So we cannot change that at this point. They have days to get going with stuff. So then a day passes, and a day has now passed. I thought this was broken for a second. It's not. We only have 2 people then. So now this day, which is their current day, which is day 1, they're idle, and they're gonna, next day after that, they're gonna be building the forester's shack. So then after this, now it should say they're doing this for the next day and the next day. I don't like how it, where did we, I had something where it said, where I was setting both next and current. Yeah, it's this. But that's right, actually. So this is if the current building is completed, it sets both of their things to idle. Except I think this is wrong now because of how we checked that. I think this should only be setting the next one. Let's see what happens. Well, it's not going to happen now. Well, let's see what happens with the old code because I saved it, but it doesn't matter. I can't remember how much work a thing needed. Um, oh, it needs a lot. Okay, let's speed this shit up. 12. I think I was too slow. Let's go back to, let's stop this. I saved this code. Whoops, I saved this code. I think, let's do this. Again. You know what, I built in a thing, and I don't think I've tested it. Start on pause. Let's see if this does it. I'm gonna have, so at the beginning, I'm gonna have the people very, so this worked. This started on pause. I'm gonna have them very independent. So they're gonna be, so this is the amount of construction, and there's 5 people. Um, so let's check them real quick. Idle, midnight passes. No, I somehow clicked. Oh, we got a bug. Was that, did that bug start? Oh, I know what that bug is. Yeah. This is happening too fast. God damn it. um, did I figure out if you could do this? I don't think this works, but let's see if it does, because that would solve this problem. That does not work. What's happening is because I have it starting pause, it's trying to do this, but this is happening too fast. Uh, just curious if we put that up there, I think we'd have to put it above main, and I don't want to do that. I guess we could. Actually, it can't be above main because main has that variable in it. Man, what a pain in my ass. I don't know where this thing was. We could go back a couple. Well, I mean, you would be in Canada, and who'd want to be in Canada, right? I think you would be in Canada. Yeah, you'd be in Canada. Hanging out with the Newfies, like right around the Newfie area, right? Uh, all right, how the fuck am I going to do this? So if this is what we're going to do, this is so easy. If globals start paused is equal to false. Oh no, that will only happen once. God damn it. Well, I mean, it'll never happen. Uh, it should, you can just not start it paused, but I want to have that ability anyways. Why do these things have to fire ahead of time? Uh, why do they have to fire before the goddamn thing starts? Um, if number of panels, well, I'll just put a note in. I don't want to get this. I don't want to get bogged down for this stupid thing. This is we'll put. I don't even know where to put this. This is gonna be under player controls. If the game is set to start paused, the event log is hidden before everything starts and it gets a bug. I was just trying to be lazy and not have There we go. And then this will go back to normal. Hopefully. What the fuck were we even looking at here? All right, so we build a county improvement. I can't remember what we were checking. Everything's idle. Oh, is this the one I didn't want to build, though? The Fisher Shack, 5 people are working on it. It says it's under construction. There's 0 of 10. We wait for another day. And now they're all set to build the next day. Nothing has been constructed yet because they have it's not 5 p.m. so their workday. I mean, they don't start till 9. It doesn't. There's no code in there that says that. But okay, so they finished 5, and their next day is the Fisher Shack, and next day is the Fisher Shack. So this was the thing. Oh, they haven't done any work yet today, so they don't know that the thing's done. So this, I think I already have a note in for this. So this, I want to have it so that it would say their next day is going to be idle. This is infection. This is the one. We just had, and I already have it in here. We're going to do that later because things might change. So right now they're gonna build this. It's gonna say they're building this even though they don't need to be. Let's see if it bugs out though. So like they're gonna finish the work today. It's done, right? The work's done. Oh, and it does bug out because the work's done. Maybe we have to do that now. So now it's completed. What does this say? Current improvement. If the current activity equals building. And because it takes away their current improvement. Their current improvement is gone at that point, so it's null. And person dot current improvement. What was the thing? Current. This is not equal to null. There was a way to put this in here. No, I don't know. Fuck it. Who cares? Person activity else. This is gonna have to be some sort of jump thing because we're gonna have to keep adding to this thing. I'm curious what it's gonna do right now. I guess I gotta build something first, huh? And then we're just gonna let it run until it blows up, or it doesn't blow up. All right, I think it's done. Oh no, I wasn't patient enough. That's done. Everyone's idle. Okay, we're gonna baby step our way into it. Shonen Jump Force. You know, I don't know anything about the shonen thing. I see memes and I just keep scrolling, you know, because I don't know what they mean. I don't even, is it, hey, it's my brother, Stephen Cook. I don't have a brother, but he would be my brother. I just assume it's some anime. I'm not against anime, by the way. I'm not like one of the anime haters. All right, we got the Fisher Shack going for the next day. The next day has happened. The Fisher Shacks are going. They haven't got done any improvements because today is their work day. They have finished one day of work. We might have to program this thing in right now. I'm thinking is what's going to happen. I was going to put it off. I was going to kick it down the road. 5 o'clock has passed. And it actually says that it's idle the next day. I don't remember doing that, but I guess whatever we did, it has gotten to the right thing. Except, what we could do. So this thing, this is only, so this is for, this is for just, it's just this that's generating the thing. So I was trying to think like we could put like was building or something. Finished building, because it's only going to have that until for like between 5 p.m. and midnight. So this is just when we're opening, and then it will be idle. So these aren't enums, these are strings. And this also is, I guess it's, no, I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. I know what I'm trying to say, but it's not right. So if you open this up and it's building and the thing is not null, it's going to say that. Otherwise, it's going to say idle. It's just going to say their current activity. If their next activity equals building, then they're going to say, there's another way to do this. There's another way to do this that's probably better. If their current improvement is not equal to null, they would do this. Else, it's going to show their current activity, which could be right. So we have two different things now. We have idle and scavenging. So if their current improvement is not equal to null, which means they're doing something, it's going to say their current activity, which in this case, between 5 and midnight, it's going to say idle. But we could change that. And we could say when the work's done, it's actually supposed to already check that. This is their next activity. So then we got to think about this as if they were real people. Since it says they're idle, it's going to between 5 and midnight. If we said their current activity, see, this is where we had this going. Okay, so if we do that, then between 5 and midnight, they have the chance of starting a new job. Well, it happens at midnight. And that would be terrible. I've done that in real life where I left a job and started a new job the next day, and I never wanted to do that again. I always like plan a weekend. Even a weekend is not enough. You need like a week. You need 4 years between each job. That's what you need. All right, so I think that's why we were doing that there. Let's double check if my slight change to this code. I really like these green. I'm not a big fan of that one. No, this one. I kind of like if you push that button, it would go away, but we'll worry about that another time. We could actually go at 2 speed. All right, they're building the Fisher Shack. They're both building the Fisher Shack, and the county improvement is 0% done because this is the current day. So after 5 p.m., it has 5 done. It was working according to our glorious plans. It hasn't done anything yet because it's not 5 p.m. It thinks it's working on it tomorrow. It won't be, though. So this is where we would put that math in, but it's not the end of the world right now. We'll just not do it because I don't want to. And that's I'm the boss of myself. Okay, so then the next day, I think I was too slow, but the next day, this is right. This is all idle. So that should have changed over to idle, and this is all idle. So this is right. That works. And this was right from the beginning, and I changed it because I thought it was wrong. I didn't save this thing, so we're gonna hope that Jesus Christ. Okay, back to our. The fuck is? Oh, I'm in the done list. I was like, what? All right, let's go through this. Have their leaders generate the influence. And I think I saw this already. That was under work. Generate leader influence. Oh, look, this is old code because it says 4. It counts through each faction. This is all. We'll update this code too. For each. Faction data, and we're not calling it. We're putting the whole thing in there. In globals instance factions, except for that one thing. Except for this one thing, we're just gonna keep. All right. I'm gonna call it factions data. Factions data. Faction datas. What is the plural of data? Is it not just data? Plural of data. It's just going to have pictures of data from Star Trek. Technically, data is the plural. Yeah, fuck you. I can't use that. It is the plural form of the noun datum. Oh, there's no pictures of multiple datas. Get the fuck out of here. I'm insulted by the internet's incompetence. Faction datas. I know. Just don't tell me about it. All right, so this is, what do we got going here? This is going to go away. This is going to go away. If faction data is true, faction data. So we already did this. I just updated the code to for each because I was told to do that. I was told that they're better. I don't know. Should I test this? I should test this because we know that if I don't, and I run it, and then later, wow, it's already an hour has passed. All right, that would have broken by now. So this is done. Is it still running? I was gonna do something. Let's make sure that they're generating. I didn't check. I don't. They're not gonna do it on day 0 though. So we gotta wait for this. Then we'll pause it. We'll go to remote. We'll not make a fool of myself again. Well, not this way. Um, oh yeah, we put these little things in here yesterday to make it easier to find this stuff. I don't see any. I don't see any. I don't see any in there. Day 0 or your hour 0 day start generate. I got it. Oh, you know what? Maybe their faction leader doesn't have leader of. Well, that's not very nice of me. I'm gonna have these different perks that the different people have, so that when you're picking to like create a new hero or whatever, like the perks will matter. But every leader should have leader of people. Well, we can look at the same thing, I think. Faction leader. Where's your faction leader? You're hidden away, Mr. Faction Leader. Faction data. Faction leader. Oh, could I not do it? No, I can do it. Oh. I can't do a thing on a custom on a custom. This is not a resource. You know what this is a public class. We could make it a resource. Do I think I have other resources inside resources. And originally I was having issues with that, but I guess it was yeah, see, I have this faction data inside this county data. So I think county population is currently a public class, but we should change it into a resource, I guess, so we can look inside, and then we can look inside over here. Uh, and we could see if they had that. I mean, we could look other ways too, but it just would be nice if we could do that. Uh, let's leave that like that. I was just thinking about something else though. Let's go to the population generation. Yeah, this is a bool. It comes after age. They should have this. Oh, well, you know what? I have this ridiculous uh, GD print down here. Oh shit. I know. I left it open. Or I left it as a export here. Yeah, so public classes are a little bit useless in Godot. C# public classes, you just got to make them into a resource, I think, so we can look inside of them. Uh, yeah, these should all three of these people, Joshua Cox, that's almost my full real name. Um, Jane Murphy, leader of people there, they all should be true. Where the fuck is my thing here? I know like 2 months from now, I'm gonna be like, why the fuck is it called that? And I'm gonna change it. The leader, did it say this down here? I swear I'm gonna take a break here in a second. All right, we just have to wait for a day to happen. It seems like they should be getting that. Is this not updating? Is that the thing that I was remembering? I don't think this updates. Yeah, this doesn't update. That was the thing. When I was making a fool of myself yesterday, this is the thing I was thinking of. Because this is mine. This is the player's. So this should actually have a 5 at, 10,005. And it's not. It doesn't reflect. Am I on remote? Yeah. It doesn't reflect the changes. I wonder why. This has happened in the past. I'm positive. I think I was. Uh, I think I was positive. Yesterday. Everything saved during a debug run of the game. The entire trees will revert to their upon closing. No, that's fine. This is different and it's ancient. When items of this array are modified, it calls the setter of that prior, which is K, relying on that to update certain things. In that class, I generate a new. The other PR fix was in fact fixing only this appearance of this bug. I like that. Uh, it's happened. Change variables in the inspector are ignored. It turns out the solution is easy and annoying. Basically, I create a script attached to a node, then attach a script into a new script that also attached to another node, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, this person deleted something. All right, there's a resource, blah blah blah. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break though, and I'm gonna go um, have a cigarette, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Where's my break timer? I have a new. Let's just change the order. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but there we go. I reorganized the order on my little thing over here, and then I couldn't find anything anymore. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I had a thought here. I don't know if we can test it, but let's see. Let's see. Well, I got my turn on my music. Do you ever see those like uh, music videos on YouTube that are actually like the graphic for them, the video for them is just an ad for something? It's weird. Okay, so this other thing where we're doing a duplicate of the resource instead of a resource, where can we look at that? Can we look at that? Where was that thing? That would be. I don't think we can see those things. I don't think I bothered uh, putting them anywhere like an export. Where was that? That's being assigned to a list in um, faction generation. Hey, we got lucky there. That was getting assigned to this list, which is research items is just a list, and we can't see inside that either. So that's not going to help us. It'd be nice if we could. There's some weird limitations with yeah, this is the thing. Remote scene dock issues, remote and local, uh, added confirmed. Priority issues. How do you get this? Can anyone just stick this on here in these priority issues? What are these priority issues? Like it seems like that's just some wingnut. Okay, he's not a wingnut. He's just a random. What are you responding to, Joker? Sorry, I was I've mentally moved on from whatever the fuck I was talking about. Um, .nets. I've never had that happen. Oh, yes. It doesn't it that would be weird if anybody could just assign stuff to that. I mean, we could maybe I could look at who that person was, and it would say like he's a Godot sharp. What the fuck is Godot sharp? Oh, he removed it. Who's this guy? Open your project folder. There's a Godot sharp. Uh, there used to be. Uh, I guess it doesn't say who this person is really. He's got a general purpose framework for creating Metroidvania games. That's interesting. Whoops. Uh, God damn it. Uh, so he removed it. Wonder why he did that. Oh, in the executable location. Oh, you're talking about the. I thought it was. I thought it said some other sharp thing. Um, it does say that. Yeah, I was thinking that that folder said like something like C sharp or something because I copied that over. Because remember, I didn't copy it over once. I didn't update it once, and it caused all sorts of issues. So basically, what I think I'm seeing here is they don't give a shit. How do you add? Can I add it back in? Fix this, dude. Uh, well, he's the person who added it in, and then later he was like, "Nah, I don't," and then he took it out. Well, I guess they're not going to fix that. Or if they do, I mean, they only got 9,000 issues to get through, right? Um, but so that's working, but we just can't see it, which is a bummer. But it's not the end of the world. We can put this thing. Well, I assume it's working. We just put a little print thing in here. Oh, we can do this. You know, I used this yesterday. Uh, convert everything over to GD script. I used this yesterday, Joker. I forget what it was for already. Uh, we want the squigs with some faction data influence, except we also want their name right here. Faction, faction name has period. And then we'll just rerun this and chill for a day. All right, we know that this is true. Whoa. All right, so that's there. Um, yeah, I don't know how they prioritize stuff. Yeah, when we can't miss it now. We know that this is what we're well except. No, it's the only one. I thought there was that other one I was talking about because I used it yesterday. Okay, so that is working. We just this is a draft for some reason. Let's convert it to an issue and then let's mark it as done because that's how we do things here. We want things to look like we're accomplishing stuff. All right, so this is for the next round. That's for the next round. This does be it. Well, no, we might not do that. I kind of really want to do that though. It's definitely not a sprint. You know what it's more like as a what's the race where you relay, where you hand off the baton, except I'm handing it off to myself farther down the road. We actually turned that on and then I turned it off again because I couldn't click pause fast enough. So we can put this back on and we can go like that. Spider-Man, man. Convert, close that thing. I don't even. Oh, I did. This is what we were just messing with, where I thought it was an enum in one spot. So that's fine there. Event log. We already took care of this. This is done. It just goes away. That's on purpose. Oh no, it's on purpose, but it's not necessarily a good thing. I'm just gonna go through all these counties. Factions are currently manually assigned to each county, and that is fucking dumb. I agree with myself. Factions need to be shown in the. Okay, so let's go through this. We're done with all the Unity stuff, though. It's all been converted over. So I'm just going through like this list of things that aren't in next round, because next round it means the next time we get to this item. But these are above, and both of these are things that I did want to fix. Heroes and armies, Should the county info panel get closed when the research panel opens? No. We're just going to get rid of this. Beautification of UI. That's 100 years from now. Oh, you know what I wanted to check that I was thinking about when I was outside? Okay. Just making sure. I still don't trust this social stream little program that I use to look at both chats. Next round. Player controls plus and minus buttons will speed up and slow down time. If the game is set to start, pause the event, which, yeah, that's next round. We're just going to clean up little things for the rest of this since we are done with tooltips. We actually want to do that soon. That's like next on the list, supposedly. And I kind of like looked at it briefly for like 20 minutes one day. The boring part of programming, like programming probably is kind of like I enjoy it, but it's kind of also boring. You know, there's a lot of stuff. I was thinking the other day, like it would be so awesome to get paid for this. I don't think it would be as awesome if I had to work for someone else. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that having this as a job would necessarily be awesome. It would, but it would because you know you might be working on some piece of shit like a Amazon panel for buying toilet paper or something dumb. That does. All right, toilet paper is important, but you know what I mean. You got a boss breathing down your neck. But like, if I could just get paid for just sitting on my ass doing this, it'd be great. But then I probably wouldn't like it. That's kind of probably it's. I have the freedom not to do it. Oh yeah, the problem. It's definitely yeah. The typing part is not the highlight of programming. Maybe for some people, not for me. Uh, so let's do this one. And faction AI is done. So we're gonna put it down at the bottom here. What are these things? Why is this in here? We're just gonna delete this. There's probably a reason. I still can't figure out the whatchamacallit. When it's paused, the camera, I can't get it to move. Right, exactly. And if the minute like so I was thinking about like why Slitherine, the gaming company, always puts out pretty terribly developed games. They used to like be known for putting out like unusual strategy games, but now they're just all pieces of junk. They're all like broken, half finished garbage, and they like release old games that they don't update. They just release them again and say like, "Oh, this is a new game." All right, they don't say this is a new game. They just re-release it unexpectedly. Uh, and I was wondering if like their management style causes these like developers who are pouring their heart and soul into this game, and they get a publisher, Slitherine, you know, they're like all stoked. Oh my God, we're gonna we're getting money to work on our game, and we're gonna it's gonna be great. And then Slitherine just up there cracking the whip, put out your fucking game. We know it's broken. We don't care. We want the money. And I wonder if that's what's going on. Move faction list to faction generation from faction generation to globals. We already did that. This is one of them. This is the faction datas. That's it. That's the thing. That's it. It's not one of them. That's the thing we're talking about here. We'll convert this to an issue. And then we will close this issue. I was going to start doing this thing, but then I where'd it go? Did I close that thing on accident? What was it? There was two of them up here, and I was dragging it somewhere. It's gone now. VSync turned off gets rid of movement jitter, but VSync will pause. You need to. So this is a known issue. This doesn't go over here. It's way, way, way over here. Yeah, I don't know what was I gonna. I said I'm gonna work on that next, and now it's gone. I think I accidentally closed it. The problem with accidentally closing things is it goes into this done pile just randomly. That one went to the top. Oh, it was faction. We want the faction name. Faction. It's this right here. It's under counties. I don't know how it got here. I'm just going to stick it. It should be at the top, not at the bottom. This is where it should be. There we go. I must have like dragged it halfway and it. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Where to go? Now it's just gone. Okay, no, it's at the top over here. There we go. There we go. All right. So everything is out of here now. So let's go with this. This is the thing we want to do. And this is not going to be that hard. We're going to very soon, I'm going to add this to the list too. It needs to also, well, let's see if we already have it. Oh, the whole thing about counting idle workers I didn't even get to. I got sidetracked. That would be the end of the Unity code. Faction leaders are assigned. Yeah, each person generates a. Yeah, idle workers, show idle workers. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know if we need to do this or just have the population list have like have the ability to be sorted, or maybe it goes to a pre-sorted list. All right. Update comment. I don't think I want to do that. Unless it was like 3 minutes long. Once the county info is open, you can never close it. Is that still true? Because I can't remember. I know I put an X button on, but that was probably I think on Unity. Yeah, I had an X button on Unity. I guess we can have that for the next round. There was something I was looking for. Oh, no, it wasn't the idle. We got two things that are very similar. All right, so back to this idle worker bullshit. That is under work. I had it on my clipboard, and I think it's gone. Idle. We're going to get a lot of hits here. Current project. I don't know if it's uppercase or lowercase. So I don't think well, we might need that. We might need that. Here it is. Where did I put this? This is in the population AI. Okay, so I was going to have this thing count. I'm going to put this back under work, and then I'm going to have this thing run it, but it's going to run it from work. Because if you're idle or you're not idle, that's kind of a work thing. I don't think this is very efficient. Well, okay. Oh, I know why I moved it. It was because we'll have to pass in a county data. And all right, so idle workers will be 0. And then county data, county population. Oh, we can just do it for each here. I don't think this is very efficient. For each county population, whoops, county population person in county data.county population. The reason I put person in here is because I find it easier to. Wasn't I going to switch this to a resource 5 minutes ago? I don't remember why I was going to do that. If the county, no, if the person I like that idea, but it's not going to work. If current activity is equal to jobs all text dot jobs dot idle or we're just going to make it so either one. No, but that won't work. If their current thing, and if we do and, person next activity is equal to idle. I think that's the only way we're going to be able to count this right. Idle workers plus 1. County data. Idle workers. We don't have this yet. So what I was doing in here was I had an event and a getter setter. And then when that changed, it would fire their event, which would update the county info panel. But that would get fired also. We'd have to subscribe with the county info panel, which isn't that big of a deal. I wonder if we could subscribe only when it's open. I bet you we can. So let's see here. It's kind of pointless to have this one as an export because we're gonna. Now, you know what we want to do first though. Change this a capital I, and then that changed all of them, and then change this back. And we'll get a bunch of bugs. Public int idle workers get set. Sure. and I can't believe it doesn't it totally sound every time I say it too, I'm always like, it has that like construction it's because of that Get Her Done guy. I don't know what his name is. Um, that like comedian. He's like a fake blue collar guy. Uh, Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, that guy. Yep, yep. He'd be good at the he'd be good at streaming programming. Uh, I think we need invoke with like a question mark or some shit. No, I can't remember how to do this. You know what? I got another one. Oh yeah, I that is definitely a thing that I wish. Oh wait, there was one right there. Okay, well here it is. This is where the question mark is. Then we do dot invoke. I love the opposite. When someone says like this is what worked for me. I'm always like, thank you so much for putting it, because man. So we go idle. Idle. Where's this in coming from? Idle workers changed question mark dot invoke. And then that's all we need. So that's going to invoke that every time. And then I think this is probably going to be weird. When this open, I don't even know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. When this thing opens, which I'm just closing all this extra crap. When this county info panel opens, do I have an on visibility change on here? I don't, which is pretty crazy. This is one of the earlier things. We'll put an on visibility change. Whoops. Changed. I gotta do a signal. Oh, well, that's even worse if you're waiting. That's even worse if you're waiting for um, visibility changed. And we're going to connect this. Then if on visibility changed, if visible equals true, we want it to subscribe to the selected counties. I think this is going to happen too fast, but we're going to try it. Globals. I, I can't remember how to do this either. Globals. Instance. Selected county data. Where was that other one that I was just looking at? The banker. No, I saw that. um, where was that? Here we go. First run. What was it called? Idle workers changed plus equals update idle workers. You know what we could do? We already have it under here. Update idle workers. When we don't want this at the end. Oh, you're not gonna offer me. There we go. Okay. It's the same with text messaging. You know, I'm a big proponent of text messaging where, you know, you just respond whenever like it's not a conversation unless you like ask something important. You know, like the person's like, I got in a car accident. And you're like, are you okay? And then 6 hours pass. And you're like, no, I'm dead. What's, it takes too long. All right, so we want this to update, but we only want it to subscribe to this one. I don't know if this is even a good idea. And the reason we're doing this is because this could change while you have this open. We never unsubscribe, so we should probably unsubscribe here when it closes, so we don't have a million of these things growing in the background. What the fuck does this mean? What is your suggestion? I can just do it right there? Sure, fuck yeah, do it right there. This is something I never done before yesterday. Yeah, if that's what we can do. All right, let's run this thing and see if this turns into a clusterfuck. It's going to update on its own, but I also want it to update when the idle workers change. So that seems okay. Let's apply this. There's no one idle yet, but we're leaving this open because as the day changes, this needs to change. It did not change, but everyone's idle. All right, I think it should have changed at this point. These are both. So we got a bunch of different things that could be going wrong. First off, do we get any? I didn't notice any bugs. We didn't get any bugs. So let's make sure that we actually changed this because I may not have changed it. That was in population. I put that in work and I was going to call it from somewhere else. So I probably did not call it from somewhere else. County data equals idle workers. And then when does this get called? Count idle workers. Now we have to pass in the county data though. We can't do it here. We need to do this. We do need to do this here though. Check work complete. Idle. Why are you not showing up here? This is a weird note. It doesn't have any things. It doesn't have any variables at the top. I know, right? It's showing up now. County. We're calling this, we have this called county up there, though. This actually needs to be one above. But we can put this as county. Shut up. Don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to put this should be right here. Whoops. Cut it. Get it out of there. And this should be called... Oh, this is select county. See, it's getting even more confusion. We got to stick with our select county is not going to bring us, but that's fine. We can do this. Whoops. Am I putting in the wrong thing? County data. County data. The legendary semicolon. Yes, it's a... What are you suggesting? You won't suggest anything for me? You will not suggest anything. Count idle workers. We put that in there. Oh, it's because this is static. I'm betting. Yep. See, that's because this always wants me to make everything static, and then I do. Then I do, and then it later on it fucks me, and I'm just sitting here wondering why. All right, so this is gonna check that. It doesn't take me. It doesn't take me to there. It doesn't do anything. Oh, this can't be static because this other thing isn't static. See? It's just the same shit over and over. It's just, it just, this would have done that too? I'm curious. No. Yeah, I just wish it would stop telling me in the messages. No, I just wish this would stop telling me that. I don't know why see, like, look at all of these. And then when I do it, I change something later. Once again, this is not a Unity thing. Unity did not do that. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, so we got this check. It's going to count the idle workers, which I guess is fine. And then if the idle workers changes, it updates the other thing. Where are we getting the idle workers currently? I think we did it some other dumb shit way. Is it like a temp workaround? We want this to be like this though. And I think we want, no, we want this. You don't look down there, huh? I like to have that completely empty. Are we just going in circles here? No. Here we go. So we're just sticking on the county generation. We're just sticking the county population because they're all going to start out as idle. So that's okay. And then we hero stacking. We're updating the when the list changes, we update the idle workers label, and that updates. So we only need to count occasionally though. So we need them to count in the morning as well. So it has to, this is an hour 0. Decide next activity, because they're not going to be idle. Adjust their activity. So at the end of their activity, right here, right here, we want it to go up there. We broke our this not having any variables at the top. It was nice while it lasted. And then on ready, do we have a ready in here? We don't have a ready in here either. Oh, it's right above. It's right above that. It's just so close to the top. We'll put this here. Instance equals this. Don't want to forget that, like I always do. Instance count idle workers. Select county data. And probably I'm forgetting something. Whoops. But we will see soon enough. All right, the whole point of this is so that when this is open, we can, it will change. Hang the idle workers. Man. So we got to have that. So that's got to be in the game, though. It's like RimWorld, you know, you get all these choices. You can just be a total piece of shit. We're just leaving this open, and the idle workers should change. They're not changing, though. So it should have changed a bunch of times. Patricia is building 2 of them. I wonder if there was 2 Patricias. Well, there's a different bug. Population list is not reporting. idle correctly, whatever. Actually, I'm going to put this over here. All right, let's go back through what we were doing. So first off, county info control, we got to see if this is working. Because I don't know if this subscribe is even working, because it might be too fast. Workers. Label. Oh, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this. It might be working. But remember, I did this a lot, and I was like, "This is dumb." I very vividly remember thinking this was a dumb idea, and this is the dumb idea that has happened. It's just copying the text from the other thing. So that would have never worked anyways. Globals instance selected county data dot idle workers. Nope. Idle workers. Also, where is my county data? This should be private. And to string blarg. I'm going to take a break in a second here. All these little things, this is another thing I think about when I play indie games, is I feel like all these little things build up. And sometimes with any developers, they leave all these little things in the background until they have like a bug list that's 500 things long, and then they go to fix one and their whole game implodes. Doesn't it seem like it should? You know why this updated like this is because the idle workers currently don't. The population is 11. This person doesn't count. So because one of them is a leader, and we still haven't made that decision, that distinction, if they are going to be counted or not. So I guess that's it's working. I should probably put a note in. Oh, I didn't try to build anything. That needs to be done. So it should have updated. Anyway, okay, so it didn't. Whoops. It updated when they went to their current activity. Oh, because I said it has to be both. It couldn't be or. I put and in there, I'm pretty sure. Count. This is in a terrible order. So are they considered no, wait. Is this working right? This is working. They both have to be here. Both of these have to be considered for them to be considered idle. So that did work, I think. Let's do this again. Can you put something in that to string? I've never tried it. You know, in the parentheses, whatever that's called, the squirrely brackets. It's not a squirrely bracket. Let's think this through here. This is going to be idle. I made it so you can't unpause during that screen being open, but now I want it to unpause. I don't want it that way in the game, though. Okay, it immediately kicked over here because this person, they're not really idle. They're idle right now. So that is how we want it to work. Man, this would be a shitty place to live. Unless everyone was, all the dudes are gay. Uh, you can't. There's no way to. Yeah, this is right. So if because they're not idle, because they're planning to work the next day. So that's fixed. That's doing it. So let's stop. Well, let's just let it run for a while and see what happens. Because when they're done building this shit, it should go back to everyone being idle. But we also found that other bug, which is going to be hard to figure out here. Okay, and that went back. Now we need to put a note in here that says the hero is not being counted. That's done. This is gonna be a next round thing. The hero is not being counted in idle workers. Maybe we don't want that. It all depends. It all depends on if we are going to let the heroes work with the normal population. Exactly. It's the all do it. I just saw that. It's the all do it tomorrow thing, and then I'm setting myself up for that here too, but I'm trying to not you know let that happen. There's that Spaceborne is the name of a Spaceborne 2 that I'm very impressed by what the single developer did, but it is so filled. It is so buggy. Holy shit, it's buggy. You can like fall through the world at times, and you have to reload your game. It's crazy, and that's like, and I can tell he just kept letting things go, and then he literally probably tries to fix one thing. It's riddled with typos too, and that's another thing that's just like that would take 5 seconds to fix, and it's weird, and I just think he just let everything slide. I don't have any proof of this, or he did not tell me this. Um, I'm gonna take a quick break though. I never took one. I got sidetracked. Let's me stop my music and let me. Wow, this whatever band this is has 30 million views. Metric? Never even heard of them. That's how you can tell that I'm old, is because I'd never even heard of half the people I listen to. Uh, all right. I'm laughing at your chat there, Joker. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Also, and I'm seeing it here with this. Still talking about the jank in some indie games as well, and in some AAA games. AAA games definitely have no excuse for that shit. Um, as the code, in my case at least, gets more convoluted, it's harder to track down the bugs. Um, okay, so what was I doing? I got a list. Factions need to be shown in the county info panel. That should not be that hard. I think I'm clicking right now. Soon I will be typing. Uh, oh, I did say the thing. Uh, where is this? We've moved off into the wild blue yonder here. Where is this title? It's right here. Let's add a child label. And this will be not there. This will be faction label. And I actually want it. Why are you have a little thing here? What's going on with auto wrap? Minimum size configured to work properly. Well, that's nice of them to tell me that. Minimum size, what's its current size? Let's say 180 by 25. That will make it a tiny bit larger. We want you. We're going to have to put a fucking V-box inside here. Because everything needs a V-box. What do we got this one doing? It's just sitting in the middle. That's fine. Everything needs a V-box. Even if you don't want vertical stuff, you just got to add a V-box in there. And then this one, I actually think I want this at the top. And we're going to say faction schmaction. And we're going to go center. What did we do? 180 by 180 by 25. And then we'll put this auto wrap thing wherever it was. Word smart. I don't know why I put that in there. But there we go. Do I want this? I don't think I'm going to call this title anymore. It was a title at the beginning, but now it's county. We'll do county name, label, faction name, label, and then we'll go back. We already have that open over here. And we're going to need another variable over here. Where's my labels? Moose. That's the first step. That's pretty much all I know how to do. I can merge my branches, but it stresses me out still every time because I worry that I've done something wrong. It's worked no, I think the first time I did it I had some catastrophe. You know what it was is I had like the first time I did it there was a bunch of stuff conflicting and I can't remember why that happened. But yeah, that's the key. Pushing is the key. Um, how am I filling this thing in? Oh, am I like getting child or some shit? I bet you I'm getting the. Here it is. No. How am I updating this label? I actually often want to. Yeah, so this is updating. I was thinking maybe it wasn't updating. I often want to push to main, and I have to like stop myself from doing it. Where are we doing this? Am I doing it on some update idle workers, disable hero check, generate hero? It's all the hero stuff. That's the hero list. Update population label, update idle workers label, buildings button. No, this shouldn't be called that. Should be county improvement. There's no script attached to this. How the fuck am I doing this? On visibility change. It is magic. You know, it's because I said this was gonna be easy. Well, let's do this how I want it to do it. Maybe, what's above this? Did I like stick it somewhere dumb, like in the top bar, because the top bar never closes, never gets hidden? What the fuck? Can I go by county? Replicative code, what do you mean? What do you speak of? It's not under the top bar. Chat. Oh my god. Have you tried to do that, Moose? Um, try to rewrite the same code. It's the same if you like write a story. You try to rewrite the same story. It's impossible. It always comes out different. It's weird. How you like you can't. Well, I mean, 90. You can get close. I have no idea where this is updating this thing. Maybe it updates it. No, that doesn't make any sense. This is one of the first things I did. You click on it. Maybe it's under select county is updating it. That'd be weird, but maybe that's what's happening. Select county. They don't. I thought they had a Steam thing. I looked at it briefly. Um, it was very brief, but I read something and then I was like, is that, like, how do you do that? And then I just quickly Googled it. I wonder if, like, it's in county data or something. It's because I said this was going to be easy. You know what we could do? Can I disable this somehow? I think I can, like, down here. Yeah, I did. It should have been so easy. Um, I can't disable this. What happens if I just move it out of the way? I just want to get the bug. I want it to say, like, oh, this can't find that thing, or this is, but it's not going to tell me. Oh, I didn't put it far enough away. Where did I put it? I definitely get that feeling too. All right, this isn't gonna break how I want it to. All right, come back here. Definitely earlier today, I think that happened to me. Face punch. I haven't even heard of that. Is your game on Steam already? See, I have these two other labels. Where the fuck is this coming from? And it's working. Yeah, it's happening right now. It's, it somehow works, and I have no clue where this shit is. Maybe it's like somewhere weird, like stuck on the camera. Where else could I have? You know, I could have put it. I could have put it here somewhere. I would have probably have had to drag it over. County info. Here it is. Why is it up here? Why is it up here? I bet you it was happening too fast. I don't want it up there because I'm never going to be able to find it like we just experienced. Um, and I don't like this either anymore. Man, Steam does have a lot of updates. Yeah, I don't like this. What is it? What are we doing here with these different? Okay, so this should be group uh, county info. This is literally what that is. And this should be up here. And then we need faction name label. Then these are like containers or some shit. I'm not quite sure why I'm there's containers and shit. What is this? Huh. I'm reading the chat over there and thinking at the same time. All right, let's figure out what we did here, why we did it this way. So this is in Select County. I think this was just happening too fast, and that was my way of getting around it. But that's not, we'll do it a different way. It's too hard to find this shit if it's, yeah, this is the same thing. I totally think that was my way of getting around that it was happening too fast, but we'll fix it. And I think that's what I was doing here. I'm gonna build this real quick. Yeah, you know, in the IT world, that's like the most infuriating thing. It's when someone just says, "Works for me," and then they just can, like, they continue on, and it's like, "Oh, but I need the." We were kind of talking about that earlier, where if someone says, you know, something doesn't work, and then they don't respond with what did work. This is public. I'm looking in the wrong spot here. County info. County info control is you. County faction labels goes here, and you go here. But I want this in the other order. I try to never say that to the users. Works for me. Bye. You know, Twitter was down once or having issues, and Elon Musk just posted, "Works for me." It's like, fuck you, Elon. Faction schmaction. So I wonder why I had that shit over there. This works fine. I think it was just how I started. Now we just got to update faction schmaction here. So on this, we have update. We don't have anything. Where is it updating this? No, here it is right here. County population label. No. Update idle workers label. Where are we updating? Was that also in global? No. Let's look under player UI. Did I stash something? No, I don't have any in a script on there. Well, we found one thing, and then I changed it somewhere, so we can search for that. County info control dot instance. That will get us close enough. We're just straight up updating the label from here. So let's not do that anymore. We'll man, we could probably put all these in one. What is this? Oh, this is just in Select County. We could probably put all these in one method and just have it do that. County info. Yeah, see, I did curse myself, but this is old code, right? That's the. I was also thinking that, you know, the people are going to get fired if they don't um, make it work for him. So they're much more motivated to make it work. So we need a public void update name labels, and then we'll go county faction. What the fuck did that? Oh, I just called it faction name. Label dot text equals currently globals currently selected. And then under here, we'll go text. And then over here, we'll go updates, name labels. I gotta type this right though. Oh, look at this. This can't be here. This needs to be here. You've left clicked on this. I guess. All right, so now that says the shipbirds. This says AI Faction 1. See, that wasn't that horrible. It was kind of horrible. All right, perfect. And it fixed some dumb shit that I did earlier on. All right, factions are currently manually assigned to each county, and that's fucking dumb. I agree with myself. I know I did that joke earlier. I don't know how I'm going to do it differently right now. That actually, this kind of applies to this other way we're going to generate the counties versus the color maps. They'll be kind of generated by faction if we do it that way, and that's the plan. This will change when we generate the counties by the color coded map. Because they actually, each faction will be pre-coded with a color. And then it will go through the map and it will assign the faction to that color. I can 1/4 get it to work. 1/10 get it to work. Population list is not reporting idle correctly. That was the thing I just added on here where it was. Oh, no. That was that weird bug that we got. I wonder how we fix that. I think that was the day after we build something. So it's 5. It's morning. They got that. Is it 5 o'clock that this happens? No. Okay, that's working. That's still working. Morning of, still working. All right, one more day. Yeah, I kind of want it if you click that again, it closes it. That's the problem with these weird intermittent things. Okay, this is here. It happened. So it was after it was done building something. We're gonna have to narrow down some of these things. Maria, and then the last person is Jason. Jason Diaz. So, Jason, I think what's happening is we're not getting rid of. Antonio. Yeah, so they are idle, but it's one of these. Their current improvement isn't getting cleared out. Right. Work is completed. We're saying clear their current improvement, but we're not clearing out their next improvement. And so eventually it comes over. If that's the issue, then that was um, that was dumb. If that was the not dumb, that was too easy. All right, so we have to do this like the day after the thing's done being built. Fisher Shack. Idle workers has changed. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Fisher Shack. Fisher's Shack. There, one more day of work. Boom, day of work is done. They're all idle. And now they're all idle. Let's let it go for another day. It's after work. They're all idle. They're all idle. You know what we could do to test something else here too is we could build. Nope, Stephanie. We can build another thing to see if this even continues to work. We haven't tested that. It's oh yeah. We have to wait a whole day for them to get. Well, let's double check here. Yeah, we have to wait a whole day. And they're building the Forester's Shack. And it has the right number of builders. And that's for tomorrow. And then they're building. You know, it does fix their idleness immediately. Oh, it doesn't check if their next day though is. Let's speed this up. Takes more work and less workers. Okay, so we're gonna have like one. Oh, I think our pause broke. I didn't pause anything there. Okay. All right. That's working. We fixed that. That was surprisingly easy. So the first, I said it was going to be easy, and it wasn't easy. I was assuming this is going to suck, and it didn't suck. So I looked at that a little bit. Oh, we could do a test compile. When time is paused and no panels, the camera should. Yeah, I can't figure out how to fix that. We'll have to figure that out though. Look at localization, figure out breakpoints, look at resources. I can't find anything about that. Looking at singles loading. So this is a weird one, but we're not going to mess with any of that shit. I do want to move on to tooltips next time. That will definitely be new because there's a couple of places. In fact, one of the places is here. So this county improvement is grayed out. You can't click on it, and I want it to. If you hover over it, it says you don't have enough influence to build it. So. Instead of doing that, let's do a test. Let's do a test compile. I'm going to need a new folder here. And, oops, wrong one. let's make it in here. Compiled. This is going to be a disaster. We're going to have this compiled folder in here, but then we also need to add it to the git ignore. Compiled. I got to make sure I spelled it right. Well, right isn't really, it doesn't matter about right. It just has to be the same. Right would be nice. All right, we'll close that. Make sure I updated the right git ignore. Looks like it. You know, I can take this off my list here. I can unpin this. Unpin. Where's my unpin button? This is how often I unpin stuff from up here. Here we go. And you know, we can unpin this. We might need that. Hex Demon's done too, though. So we can unpin this. There we go. All right. So what was I doing? Oh, I was going to compile this. Project settings, no. Export. We're going to add Windows Desktop. We're going to get a bunch of bugs. That's okay. And we're going to manage our export profiles. Download and install. So you have an old one on here. We can trash this. Can I do that in the middle of? You know, when I first started working in Godot, I saw a Reddit post where a person was like very adamant that Godot should get rid of GD script and just do C#. And I was pro that. And then I learned more about how things worked, and I kind of like was like, we need the GD script to be in there. And now I'm back to like, I wish they would just get rid of GD script. I think that, you know, it's getting neglected, the C# part. So this is going to give us errors because I don't have like an icon or app info, but we don't give a shit about that. And I need to pick a folder, which I can't remember where is it here? It is here. We want it to go into here. And these are the because I don't have the stuff. I thought I can do export all, but maybe that's after this one. And let's run this over here. I might have to do a couple of things here. Then compiled with console. I had someone come into chat actually and say they were very aggressive about their love for see, we got like a bunch of bugs. These aren't colored. They were very passionate about GD script. And they thought C# was a less powerful program than GD script, which was kind of funny because like C# is used for like tons of stuff, and GD script is just made by some dudes in their garage in Sweden or someplace. You are so fucked. This directory doesn't exist. So it looks like the first problem we got is we need. I thought if I put this, I thought prepared for this eventuality, but maybe I didn't. Resources factions. How are we loading this stuff? So I'm loading something wrong, is what's going there, and that's imploding the rest of the project, which is kind of fine. It's fine. We could stop this. No, actually, I want to see the error log still over here on the. I mean, there is an error log I could look at too. Uh, so this is going to be under faction generation, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't look like I have that open. So under faction generation, wherever the fuck that is, it's not under UI. You know, I've seen some GD script that I was kind of impressed with how it is. It was much shorter. All right, so this isn't going to work. This is using. Let's look at this export. I might have done the export wrong. There's resources. Export all resources in the project. I just wish they would put more time into the C# stuff, because I feel like I'm running into all sorts of issues that are C# only issues when I look them up. Not all sorts, but more than I would like. So I thought I fixed this. How did I do it with? Let me look. Hex Daemon also loads shit from, and it doesn't have this issue. It loads a list of names as well. Doesn't this does not load names? Load names. Oh no, they do, but they both load names. So where am I loading these names? It's not necessarily this. The first thing it runs into, this is in globals, is it's loading these names. And I might, no? Am I loading names in Hex Daemon here? Where did I put that in Hex Daemon? Is it also in my global script? You know, the corpse doesn't, this is res, so I'm loading that corpse differently. Here's my load names here. File access versus Is this? Oh, it's this thing. So that's Godot. This is C sharp. No, it's not. This is also Godot. This is Godot. I'm doing these naming files. You know, I did copy over a list at some point. Are these identical? I have this if it exists. No, that's the same. Oh, I'm not using this plus symbol, but that shouldn't matter. I wonder if it's because I copied over the list names a long time ago. I bet you that's what it is. So in my other one, I copied over. I thought I deleted them, but I guess not. Um, yeah, I copied over the lists, which I don't want to do. That's the whole point of I changed that from the C sharp reading the disk to the other because I don't want to copy over this folder when you're trying to compile something. You know, I want it just to come across. Uh, so we have to figure out how to fix this. So it needs to import these files. And this is the error. Not set to an instance of an object. Load. I need to be able to see chat. Got too many things on top of things. There was that one thing, actually, that me and Joker talked about ages ago. It was like you could drag and drop a file in here. But I think it only returned the name. 96. You know what I'm also going to check here? Make sure that I'm running like a new version. I might have compiled this a long time ago. And it would be a bummer if I was running some version. Nope, it's the new version. It's the only version. Now I'm wondering if I totally thought I fixed this on the Hex Demon. Let me check. I'm gonna run Hex Demon, but I'm gonna delete this list from my compiles. Well, if I just renamed it list old, and then let's run this. We can stop this one. We can stop this one. We can run this one. And we can. Oh, you know what? We didn't even need to open that. We can just run this from here. Yep, it's the same thing. I thought I had totally thought I had fixed that with those different. So this is the issue. The issue is it doesn't know what the fuck this thing, what the file system is. Load from all resources in folder, load files. But it has to be a special way, and I thought file access did it, but file access wants the like. I thought when you use file access, it converted. That's what I thought. So Unity has this thing where if you put like uh, the equivalent of this, it just converts that into whatever when you compile it, it converts that to whatever the local file system is. So it would know, like if I picked to compile into that folder, it's going to put that there. Um, it's going to change that. And so I thought that that's how this, if you use directaccess.open, that's what it was going to do. It was going to convert this res thing. But it does not do that. That person just typed it wrong. For that, let's look at this file access thing. Maybe it says, but I'm going to call it a day real quick. Okay, so wait, there's this user thing. That's for save game stuff. I want it to pull. This class can use to permanently store data in the user's device file system and read from it. This is used to store game saved or player configuration for a sample on how to read it. Data paths. This page how to file paths work in the Godot project. Learn how to access files in your project. Path separators. Instead of writing paths like that, you write it like that. Accessing files in the project folder. Godot considers that a project exists in any folder that contains project.godot. Even if the file is empty, you can access any file relative to it by writing a path. To store persistent data files like your saves or settings, you can use this instead of that as your prefix. This is included when. This is because when the game is running, the project's file system will likely be read-only. By default, so it's kind of like this, but I don't I don't want to have to drag that list of names into like some weird user thing or write it to copy it there when the game starts. Converting absolute paths to local paths. You can use project settings globalized path to convert a local path like this to an absolute OS path. To convert an absolute path to a local path, start with res or user using localized path. This only works for absolute path that point to files or folders in your project's root or user direct only folder. Okay. I'm going to do this. Returns the localized path corresponding. See also starting with res. So let's do this. Right in here, we're going to do, what was this thing called? Let me move this to my other monitor. So this is similar to what I was talking about in whatchamacallit, Unity. Project settings dot localize path. Mail. All right, this is what we're gonna do first. I want some information here, and I will get that information by doing this. Localize path. And then we'll run this here. Maybe I was doing it wrong the whole time. Maybe it didn't matter that I was using the C# thing originally. What? Globalize path. No, let's do mail names both times. We can turn off XDaemon. Bye. There we go. What is today? Saturday? You know, though, that's not in a folder. So what if I put in here to convert a local path like that to an absolute OS path? So if I do a globalized path, you can use, okay, so I should be doing globalize here, let's say. Let's say I put this right here. Then I hit play. Restart. I'm going to call it a day very soon, though. So we didn't get any bugs there. And we have, so, you know, obviously it's got to work on both. It's got to work both when I'm running it here and when I'm running it from the compiled thing. Then we're going to go back to here and we'll go export. And we'll go export all. We don't care about those bugs. We can close this thing, open this up again, and 2D4X compiled. What time is it? 2:59. That's the current. We're gonna get some other bugs, but I just want to see if these went away. Load names. It did not go away. Here we can pause time. Invoke Godot method. That's a different error, though. No, it's the same error. Oh, this needs the globalized thing here. This also, whoops, we can just copy this whole thing over here. There's probably a better way to do this where we do it up higher in the file tree. File tree. Just up higher in the file, not the file tree. All right, export all. I'm gonna close this. Export all. Debug. Failed to build. We have a build problem. We have a build problem. 1, 2, 3. Now that doesn't look wrong. That doesn't look wrong at all. Whoops, we don't give a shit about this. We don't give a shit about this. We give a shit about this. So, you know, when I run a Solash, a little debug window, Solash 2, a little debug window pops up on the side. It said something. I'm going to do this again. It said failed to build flashed through there. Project failed to build. Now I want to see what the problem is, man. Oh, I think we got a bug that is unrelated to... All right, is this all saved? Occasionally you just got to open and close the shit, right? Well, let's hit play here and see if I get that weird failed to build, and then it continues on acting like it is building. All right, we would have got a bug by now. And then we can go export, export all, debug, close. It's 303. It's the same thing and didn't seem to give a shit about that. Line 98. But you know, it didn't, well, what did it print? These things are in a folder. What does the list path have in it? See, this has res in it, and that's what I think what's going wrong here. Is res is not getting converted correctly. And it's probably something I'm doing wrong. Globalized path. Godot projects 2D4X. Lists. Globalized paths is what I put on here, right? Oh. I've never seen this. That's why I keep laughing at it. I've put it in there and I've never seen it. I know what we got to check here. We got to compile this. I think it's giving me the same, but this thing's in a folder called compiled. That's, I think, the problem here is this thing's in a folder called compiled and it doesn't know that. But shouldn't it know that? Because where else would you? I guess you would have like an install path or something. No, it's still looking in the it's looking inside this folder for something. It's looking for something called lists and it doesn't exist. So when I compile stuff, I need that to go with it. Maybe I need to like set that somewhere. Filters to export non-resource files. Godot export folders in res. What does this say? Project, export, select template, resources tab. You need to exclude your folder from the project so you get its contents using something like this. When when exporting, how do I get my folders in the res folder? It only exports the executable and the PK files. You just need to exclude your folder from the project so you can get its contents using exclude. I feel like you would want to include. Get executable path, get directory, your folder here. AFK folders in a project always get exported into the PK or not exported. One reason is because some files you put in your project don't exist in the same format. Looks like you're enjoying the discussion. That took a while for that thing to pop up. I must have been on this page long enough to trigger whatever. They go on through an import process first, which makes them more difficult to load by the engine. Textual. You may otherwise have to load these files differently, not using res, because res is for the resource packaged with the project. In an exported game, importers are not included as well, so you have to do some manual work. Get the fuck out of here. Allow us to export folders outside the PCK when exporting a project. This is closed. You can already exclude folders and files when exporting using the resource export. Can't you just copy that excluded folder yourself? I don't want to copy the excluded folder myself. That's so fucking stupid. Why? Fuck you, whoever you are. The problem is if you did updates, you're gonna have to keep update. You're gonna have to keep copying those folders over, and you don't want to have to manually do shit like that. I want to export a folder and its non-resource files when exporting a game for Windows. Here's my setup, and it doesn't actually work. Your image looks correct. Are you defining project is correct? So I must be putting in, I must supposed to be putting in whatever lists. Was he putting in a slash at the end? They are. Okay, so this makes sense to me. I thought this said exclude as well. I thought this was like folders and files. Filters to export non. I want this to go. And let's see if it gets. Can't you manually copy it over there? Fucking fool. Yes, I can. Um, I don't see it. I must go in maybe into this pack file. I didn't look at what time this one was. No. Well, I'll probably mess with this offline a little bit. I feel like I'm on the right path here. Filter to export non-resource files folders. Yeah, it's just straight up lists. I feel like that's here's a docs. I'm assuming that it's going to actually put the folder in here, but I don't know why I'm assuming that. 313. Same shit. Export all resources in the project. Export selected scenes and dependency. Export selected resources and dependencies. Export all resources in the project except resources checked below. Here's my setup, but it doesn't work properly. Your image looks correct. Are you defining... Are you sure the defined path is correct? Well, I haven't verified this. I assume that implies they have a project subfolder as an immediate child. Isn't this an immediate child? Yes. It's not working, Moose. It's not. When I exported it, you can't find the files that are there. So I have a folder called lists that's just a list of names and stuff. Uh, right here. And it's not in there in this one. And it's not in the, well, it could be in there, but it's not getting it right. It thinks it's in the, it's looking. If I put this back, maybe if I put this back to how it was, which was just list paths, we'll know. Went one too far there. 98 is this one, which means it would have got past this one. I guess this doesn't matter because this could be whatever. It doesn't give a shit. Let's make sure this works here. I hate when I do this. When I find some puzzle right before I'm about to end my stream and call it a day. All right, that works. Maybe it was the globalized path thing that was fucking it up. Let's look at my resources. List. Export all. Debug. Maybe I need to configure these tools. Application modify resources in the export presets. Maybe that is what I gotta fuck with that. I am gonna call it, like, what is it? 317? It is 317. Wait, I think we got a different error. Which is what we want. Come here. Oh, it got past part of it. Where does it say directory doesn't exist? Did it have the other things? It does. Interesting. Anyways, I am going to call it a day. I should probably put this as a note. I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow. It is still my weekend. 4-day weekends are nice. Exporting the project. Whoops. When. Good God, when. When. Exporting the project, the lists folder isn't accessible. So it bugs out. There we go. Put this at the top. This song that has started playing is Cookie Monster vocals. And we're going to stop it. No to the Cookie Monster vocals. And there we are. And all right, and I may mess around with this later. This wasn't like a we were supposed to merge this to main. Let's do it. This wasn't like a requirement right now, but we might as well, you know. this is done. We're done with faction AIs for now. But it is, I do need to figure out how to get this to work so that I don't have to copy that folder over, because that's bullshit. Bug fixes, and what else did we do? We made it so, well, we basically, it was just mostly bug fixes and a few minor things. Unity conversion is done. Now we will commit this all. We will push this to here. We will wait patiently. Then we will go to my managing of branches. We will switch over to here. It dinged though. I'm not a big fan of that ding. What was that ding? I don't know. Then we're gonna merge into let's close this thing. That was the ding. The ding was because that got changed when I was, let's cancel this. Let's go back to this one. Make sure that anything else didn't go back over here. Oh, it was just doing. Sorry, I clicked it like 6 times. I'm sorry, computer. Yeah, you definitely want to have that closed. Then, this is supposed to not be showing up because of I put it in the thing. I put it in the, yeah. Let's not fuck this up here. Let's hope this doesn't cause some massive 30 files. Sounds about right. This is like an additional 30 files. I don't know what the fuck that is. Commits. Merge. Factions AI. We actually don't even need to put that there. We just go up and hope that we don't get some. Well, I guess it worked. I always double check. Once again, I feel like this is not something professional programmers do that. But you know, I've worked with a couple of professional programmers, and they always forget to push shit. Like, I would say 90% of the time, you gotta PM them and be like, hey, I noticed that you said you finished all that code, but it's not pushed. Oh shit, I forgot. Let me push it right now. Or they're lying to me. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad to be done with the Unity part. And now we can, you know, break new ground, crawl through the brush type of thing. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for joining me. Have a good afternoon, evening,